Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Crystal Williamson. During his national statement at the United Nations General Assembly on September 27, 2024, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, noted that for over the past 3 years, the Bahamas has been pleading with member states to engage in a more urgent sense of action as it relates to climate change.
Over the past 3 years, the Bahamas has been pleading with member states to engage in urgent action in respect of climate change. Along with other small island developing states, we have highlighted our vulnerabilities and our predicament. We have told you what we know, shared our experiences from the front line, described what we are doing to address the various issues, and warned how our yesterdays are becoming your tomorrows. There's been some welcome progress, but it falls far, far short of what is needed. And now we all have to live with the reality of a climate crisis that has pushed our planet past the critical threshold of 1.5 degrees Celsius for an entire year. At this very moment, the new harsh reality manifests in hurricanes and heat, fire and floods. Member states can somehow quickly find eye-watering sums of money for bullets and bombs, but only rattle small change in their pockets when it comes to financing the costs of loss and damage, repair and recovery, so desperately needed to adapt to the new climate reality. Why? Why do members persist in ignoring the biggest threat of our lives? The easy answer would be to say that you just don't care. But I cannot accept that. To do so would be to accept a view of humanity which is at odds with my faith and lived experience of humanity. But we in the Bahamas clearly see that lack of determined, committed action as a series of misguided short-term choices and priorities. We can choose differently. We can choose better. We can act to address real, consequential priorities that are already impacting the lives of every single one of us and will continue to impact the lives of our children and their grandchildren for generations to come. The irony is that generations before us did not have an established forum such as this, a place to come together as a whole world to work together for the common good. The genocidal crisis of the Second World War gave birth to the United Nations, and the ensuing wars of independence and regional conflicts means that we have in place the structure for real, effective action. And so today, as the Bahamas celebrates 51 years of membership of the United Nations, we offer our service to the international community as we bid for non-permanent membership of the Security Council for the term 2032-2033. We do so because the present crisis of today, the looming crisis of tomorrow, requires even greater degrees of ingenuity, effort, multilateral cooperation, and sacrifice than the world needed in the aftermath of the Second World War. We understand well that the Council's mandate to maintain international peace and security goes far beyond the mere absence of war. But we also know that from where we stand, on the front line of the impact of climate change on humanity, that the mandate to cooperate in solving international problems, now more than ever, requires us to stand up and step forward. We do so to amplify the voices of small island developing states. We do so because the voices of small island developing states are the harbingers of what lies in store for all of us. The Security Council of the future will not be equipped to deal with the biggest crisis of our time without voices like ours at the table. The link between climate change and global security is undeniable. Things are bad now, and they're going to get a lot worse before they get better. Climate considerations must be integrated into all aspects of the Security Council's work. Because of this, the Bahamas stands ready to advocate and support whatever reforms are needed to help maximize the effectiveness of the work of the Council. Membership for countries like ours was not what the Charter members contemplated when the UN was established. But it is countries like ours which will help the Council with inclusive, truly representative decision-making needed to help address the greatest crisis of our time. Friends, aspirations to lasting global peace and security will remain empty dreams if not supported by economic security. For too long, the global financial system has been skewed against developing nations. It is a cruel irony that industrialized nations who bear the greatest responsibility for the climate crisis often perpetuate another form of injustice in the form of our current global system. You have been instrumental in exposing the hypocrisy of unilateral blacklisting and advocating for a framework that prioritizes fairness and inclusivity. The present system, with its dark rules and uneven playing field, drains resources from developing countries, leaving us to grapple with the consequences. The Bahamas refuses to accept this double standard. We are raising our voice to demand a fairer and more equitable international framework, one where the voices of all countries, regardless of population or GDP, are heard and respected. The Bahamas will continue to be a leading voice in championing this issue for as long as we need to do so, no matter how lonely or how long the journey may take.
More of Your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. After the recent launch of the FUSES program to assist technology management in a more rapid response, the Royal Bahamas Police Force is asking the public to partner in an initiative that will further these goals by registering their external CCTV cameras. Assistant Commissioner of Police Zhivago Daines provided further details of this initiative at a press conference held at police headquarters on October 3rd, 2024.
Just over 5 months ago, we launched our FUSES platform, which integrates our technologies like body-worn cameras, CCTV, ShotSpotter, and AVL into one single window for better management and faster incident response. As a part of this initiative, we have invited the public to partner with us by registering their external CCTV cameras to boost results of the technology. I want to emphasize, by registering your cameras, you maintain full control of your equipment and content. We do not view or control them. The process works like this. If an incident occurs in your area, we will contact you, and if your camera captured important footage, you can easily share them with us through the FUSES platform. To date, 936 residents have registered their CCTV cameras with us. It's against this backdrop, on behalf of Commissioner Clayton Fernanda and the entire Royal Bahamas Police Force, I extend our deepest thanks to all of you. We are truly grateful for your support. Your partnership is vital in helping us fight crime and protect our communities. Public safety is a shared responsibility, and your cameras can play a vital role in providing key evidence that help us solve a crime faster. If you haven't registered as yet, I urge you to visit our website, www.royalbahamaspolice.org, and register today. It only takes 3 minutes. Remember, you maintain complete control over your system. We also have representatives from our Urban Renewal Program here today, serving as our boots on the ground. They will conduct walkabouts in your communities, encouraging you to register your CCTV cameras with the Royal Bahamas Police Force. This is a great opportunity for you to voice any concerns you may have, and our team will be ready to listen and address them to the best of their abilities. Your engagement is key to enhancing the safety and well-being of our neighborhoods. Together, through the FUSES platform, we can keep our community safer than ever before. Thank you for your unwavering support, and let us continue working together to build a safer Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
October is National Youth Month, and the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture is encouraging the youth to make it a memorable one. In a press conference held at the Office of the Prime Minister on October 3rd, 2024, Minister of Youth, Sports, and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, provided details on the calendar of events for the month under the theme, Homecoming, Make More Memories.
But let me just say, in a short 3 years, I am a very proud minister of my team on the success we would have made over the past 3 years as it relates to the promise we would have made to the Bahamian people as it relates to the blueprint of change. We will be talking about youth in parliament, something that we had in our blueprint, that we will be speaking about the launch of youth parliament, which is coming on November 8th of this year, which youth parliament will be young people discussing the issues, the real and true issues of youth that are affecting them, and we will be using their debates and the information that they will provide the nation as a real source of how we could build a gap from the past, the present, and the future. When we also look at the Be Inspired program that was shut down for 4 years, the relaunch of that, where we would have given many young persons who are either current business owners or want to be business owners, entrepreneurs, grants to ensure that we empower our young people inside the nation. I also want to look at sailing, sloop sailing. We promised to make that the national sports. We're happy that that has been named the national sports. I look at the National Youth Guard, another in the blueprint for change that we promised that has already been launched and has been successful, where young people are now trained to respond to disaster response and recovery here in the Bahamas. While one or two of these events are no longer with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, we are proud to be the ministry that would have launched these events.
And so we are so excited to be launching our services this weekend. We'll be with the Seventh-day Adventists at Hillview on this coming Saturday at 11 a.m. And then we will be at Legacy Church with Pastor Rosemary Pena at 10:30 a.m. And then in a very, very special showcase. It is an invitation-only event, so you'll have to look forward to seeing all of the highlights on the news and in the newspapers. Our brand new cohort of 14 youth ambassadors are going to be installed on Monday. You've already seen some of them highlighted on the news and in the newspapers, and you can look forward to seeing more from them. They're going to be representing our country locally, nationally, regionally, and globally, with CARICOM, the Commonwealth, United Nations, and so many other organizations. And then the all-exciting National Youth March is taking place on October 13th. We have used the University of the Bahamas as our hub for this year. So we kick off from UB at 2 p.m. on the 13th, and we're looking forward to seeing all of our friends, partners, guests, everybody. Our patron will be there, so we want you to be sure to wave to him as you see him on the streets of the capital. On the 19th of October, we have the Chick Charney Cheering Challenge that is back, and we are excited that we have a partner this year, OKX Bahamas FinTech Company Limited. Let's give it up for them. They have come on to provide sponsorship for this event. So if you think you have what it takes, please go to our Facebook page, sign up for this event. I'm very sure that the cadets and the Rangers are looking to come out on top again. So let's see who is going to be victorious in this quest. We also have one of our marquee events, which is the National Youth Awards. That's happening on Tuesday, October 29th at Evangelistic Temple. And this year, we are also having our nominee medal presentation ceremony as a part of this event. So that starts at 6:30 with our red carpet. You're going to see all of our nominees, and we'll see who's going to emerge as the winner. We have so many different categories of awardees, whether you're excelling in education, sports, arts and culture, and so many others. You have just a few more days to submit your nominations. Again, you can go to our Facebook page and be able to see what all of the selections are so that you can get your nominations in. And this year, National Youth Month extends beyond October. We have events also in November. So from the 4th to the 8th of November, internationally will be celebrated Youth Work Week. And so for this week, on the 7th, we have our Youth Leaders Hall of Excellence program that's going to have the induction ceremony. We pioneered this last year, and we were excited to induct 5 youth leaders into that hall. And so we have that presentation again this year. And then on the 8th, as our minister alluded to, the 8th of November, Friday the 8th, mark your calendars. Set your schedules, because Rawson Square and Parliament Squares are going to be closed down because we are having an opening of National Youth Parliament. What makes this parliament so special is that these young people who take the halls that day are going to be serving for a 2-year term. There will be 39 of them in a National Youth Assembly and 16 in the Youth in Senate.
On October 8, 2024, Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Philip Davis, along with Disaster Risk Management Authority officials, addressed the nation from the Disaster Risk Management Authority Operations Center regarding Hurricane Milton, currently on track to impact Florida and potentially the northern islands of the Bahamas. With Milton's path closely monitored, Bahamians were urged to stay vigilant and prepare for possible effects, as the storm could bring strong winds and heavy rains to the northern Bahamas. Government agencies are on high alert, coordinating relief efforts and updating safety protocols for the approaching storm.
Good evening, everyone. After the briefing received in Cabinet this morning on the developments and preparations surrounding Hurricane Milton, I wanted to speak to you, the Bahamian people, directly. At 6 p.m. this evening, the Met Office issued its latest bulletin. Hurricane Milton continues to strengthen as it approaches the western coast of Florida and is currently a Category 5 hurricane. The Met Office has upgraded the status for islands in the northern Bahamas from a tropical storm watch to a tropical storm warning. This means that tropical storm conditions are expected within the next 36 hours on the islands of Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama, and the surrounding keys. While the threat is not as significant as that of a hurricane threat posed to our neighbors in Florida, we still need to take it seriously. Tropical storms are nothing new for us. Year after year, we are told how we must prepare and ready ourselves and our homes to keep us all safe. But we know how quickly things can change. The storm, in particular, has intensified extremely rapidly. And so, within the next 24 hours, it is important that you do all that you can to stay safe. The Disaster Risk Management Authority has issued detailed guidance on how best to prepare. Please don't wait. If you haven't already done so, start preparing now. The Met Office advises that as Hurricane Milton passes over Florida, tropical storm winds will be experienced on Abaco, Bimini, and Grand Bahama, and as I said earlier, the surrounding keys. These islands have already experienced excessive rainfall since Sunday from another storm system. And so the ground is already saturated with water. Heavy rainfall has also been experienced on other islands in recent days, namely on Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera. And now the rainfall from Hurricane Milton is expected to intensify, especially overnight tomorrow night. The Met Office advises that as a result, there's likely to be extensive flooding. Take whatever precautions necessary to protect yourselves from this excessive flooding. The Met Office also advises that from noon tomorrow, that is on Wednesday, heavy rainfall is also expected on those other islands, Andros, the Berry Islands, New Providence, and Eleuthera. Because of the heavy flooding, which is expected to result from this, after consultation with the Minister of Education, I'm announcing that all schools on those islands will be closed until Friday for in-person teaching. We don't want our young people having to navigate large areas of flooding while getting to and from school. The Ministry of Education will provide further detailed guidance. The broadcast alert system has already been activated on all mobile phones in the country, and you have received one earlier this afternoon. Please pay attention to the alerts and follow the advice given. ZNS and other news outlets will broadcast further alerts and updates as they are issued. Stay tuned to official channels for updates from the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. Friends, for the past several months, I've held monthly meetings with the Disaster Risk Management Team. Compared to what was in the past, the team has greatly enhanced the degree of national preparedness. They are coordinating efforts across all sectors to ensure that the agency is ready to respond swiftly and effectively. I expect that those of you, especially in Abaco and Grand Bahama, may well find this time to be the cause of some anxiety. Given the projected path of Hurricane Milton and the fact that it is not projected to make landfall in the Bahamas, there's no need for panic or alarm. Even so, much has been learnt and improved upon from past experiences. One of the lessons is that it is better to take extra precautions rather than be taken by surprise by unforeseen events. In other words, as my grandfather would say, it's better to be safe than sorry. Focus your efforts on being safe. For example, if your home is at risk of flooding, go and stay with a friend or relative whose home may not face such risk. Stock up on water, food, batteries, and so on, as you would when facing a direct threat of a hurricane. Clear anything from your property which may be blown around in the wind. Protect your doors and windows. Raise your furniture or other household valuables off the floor in case of the flooding. And of course, and more importantly, protect yourselves. We will continue to monitor the storm extremely closely. The Family Island administrators, the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the National Youth Guard, the Ministry of Works, and all our major agencies are on standby. They are ready to respond and deploy resources as needed to protect and support our communities. We remain in close touch with our partner agencies in the United States and in the region. To those fellow Bahamians residing in Florida, I strongly urge you to take this hurricane extremely seriously. If you are in Florida, Milton is a powerful and dangerous storm, and is forecast to remain so as it makes landfall on Florida's west coast. Please heed the warnings from local authorities, make necessary preparations, and take all measures to ensure your safety and that of your families. The Governor of the Bahamas is coordinating our efforts with our consular offices and local Bahamian associations in Florida to provide assistance wherever possible. As Bahamians, we are no strangers to the challenges posed by tropical storms and hurricanes. We have faced them before, and we have emerged stronger each time. Let us remain vigilant, prepared, and ready to act. Our government stands prepared to take every necessary measure to protect lives, property, and communities. I want to thank you, and may God continue to bless and protect the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
I want to assure you that we are fully prepared and ready to support every community in this country. The government, through the DRM Authority, has been working to ensure that all islands have the necessary resources to withstand any storm. We have taken a strategic approach, decentralizing our disaster preparedness efforts, which means each island is able to focus on its own specific needs. Every island is unique in its geography, population distribution, and risk factors. This means that one solution does not fit all, and we are addressing each situation accordingly. Some islands may request resources for food and non-perishable supplies. Others need sandbags to guard against flooding, while still others are focusing on securing fuel for their generators to ensure power during potential outages. In this vein, we've been closely engaging with the Family Island administrators and representatives over the past few days. Yesterday afternoon, we held a critical meeting to assess and address the most urgent needs. One significant request across many islands was for tarps to secure homes against potential roof damage. I'm happy to report that the distribution of tarps have already begun in several communities, and those that have not yet received them will be receiving them first thing in the morning. This is part of our proactive approach to ensuring that no home goes unprotected as we brace for this storm. At the heart of our efforts is a commitment to ensuring that resources are not only provided, but are distributed effectively. We have teams on the ground working in real time to get these critical supplies to where they are most needed. The Disaster Risk Management Authority is coordinating with local officials, the Defense Force and Police Force, and volunteers across the country. This type of collaboration is what will allow us to respond to Hurricane Milton swiftly and effectively, should there be any unforeseen impacts once the storm approaches. But it's important to remember that while we are doing everything we can as an agency to prepare and respond, preparedness begins at home. I want to strongly urge every resident to take this storm seriously. Now is the time to act, if you haven't already done so. Gather your emergency supplies, including water, non-perishable food, flashlights, batteries, and any medications that you may need for the next few days. Check your surroundings, secure any loose items in your yard, and make sure your homes are secure as possible. Additionally, if you are living in a low-lying or flood-prone area, we encourage you to make preparations to evacuate to a safer location if needed. The shelters will be opened if the need arises, and they are well equipped with the necessary resources. Please ensure you stay tuned to all advisories coming from the Met Office, the DRM Authority, and other official sources. Community solidarity is vital during times like these. We ask that you also check in on your neighbors, particularly the elderly and vulnerable, making sure that they too have what they need. This is a time when coming together as a community can make all the difference. It is also important to remain calm but vigilant. Hurricanes are unpredictable and conditions can change rapidly. Continue to monitor all updates and do not let your guard down until the all clear has been issued. Our nation has weathered storms before, and each time we have come out stronger because of the resilience and determination of our people. I want to reiterate that your safety is our top priority. Don't wait. The government is doing everything in its power to mitigate the risks and ensure that you have the support you need. We are confident in our disaster preparedness plans, but we also need you to do your part. As Hurricane Milton approaches, please take every precaution and make the necessary preparations for you and your loved ones. And may God bless and keep the Bahamas safe.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Tuesday evenings where we bring you coverage, highlights, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.